Alright guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching this video. This is something that has been highly requested. It's something that I speak about quite a lot on my Instagram stories, and I thought it wasn't doing it justice just giving you guys little bits of information on how I've done my reverse diet. So here we are, and I'm going to do a full video on it. I've got all of my notes because I literally don't want to miss anything, and I want to go in as much detail as possible to explain to you guys how I actually done it, and then hopefully if it's something that you would like to do, building up your calories, then hopefully this video will allow you to do that. First off, I just want to say that if this is a topic that you actually want to know a lot about, then pause the video, go get yourself a cup of tea and literally just listen, because I'm going to go into so much detail that hopefully you understand why I done a reverse diet, why it can benefit you, and how I actually done it, and the simple way that I went through the process as well. If you do really enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm hoping to do a lot more detailed videos like this, talking about loads of different topics about fitness, non-fitness, so if you want to see future videos then please hit the subscribe button. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I am not a reverse diet professional, and there are people out there and coaches that know their stuff on this topic, and I am doing this video because it's going to be a simple way for you guys to hopefully be able to understand it, and it's just talking about my experience. So if you want to pay a coach to help you do reverse diet, go for it. They're going to know a lot more detail about how to do it, maybe in a more structured way than the way I'm going to explain in this video today. So please take everything that I do within this video and talk about on board, but remember that this is my experience. What works for me may not 100% work for you, and this type of thing is unique for every person who does it, but I will actually explain more about that later in the video. So my reverse diet first started when I finished my cut, which was in April 2020, which literally seems so long ago now, and I have actually just hit the 2000 calorie mark, which I am so happy about. It's something that's been a goal for mine for quite a while now, and my end goal is to get around 2,200, 2,300. I think that is going to be an amount of calories that I'm happy with. It's enough food to fuel me with what I want to do, but it's not too much food where I'm actually struggling to eat that amount every day. First dieting is also a small section within my nutrition plans if you are interested in reading it, even though a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is in this video today, but I go into a lot more detail about how you can reach your goals in a stress-free way through your eating. So if you do want to check out my nutrition plans, guys, they are in the description box. So in April 2020 I finished my cut and my diet on 1,500 calories. Now as soon as somebody pipes up, because there's always some people who want to give me negativity on this, I am very aware that 1,500 calories is extremely low. If somebody comes to me and says I'm on 1,500 calories, I tell them that it's too low, and the reason that I went down to 1,500 calories was because I set myself a challenge, a goal, and for me I knew that 1,500 calories, it was a low amount. Like, I'm very aware of the foods I'm eating. I've always done tracking, and I've always been really honest with you guys through like Instagram and anything that I've ever done on Instagram stories and YouTube. I'm always very open, and I am fully aware that 1,500 calories, it's not enough food to fuel my body, and the only reason I'd done it was because I knew it was a short period of time. I knew I was going to come out of it and do a reverse diet, and I knew that it wasn't affecting my mental health in any way. In the future now, because I have done this reverse diet, I will never actually have to get my calories as low as 1,500 again, and this is one of the topics and one of the main reasons why I'm doing a reverse diet. So on that note, guys, let's jump straight into this video. So first off, what is a reverse diet? So it is literally exactly what it says on the tin. It's taking your diet and doing it in a reverse. So instead of bumping your calories down, we're going to start bumping your calories up, but we're going to do it in a very slow and steady pace. And the reason for that is we want to increase our calories over time, but not increase our body weight and our body fat in the same time. A reverse diet is perfect for someone who was in maybe my position, who has come out of a cut. They've always maybe been on really low calories and they want to fix up and start having more calories again. Or it could just be someone who wants to generally eat more and not want to gain weight in the process of increasing their calories all of a sudden. For me, I really wanted to reverse diet and do it in a very steadily way, and I'll go through like the process and stuff later in this video, but I wanted to do it in a steady way because I didn't want all my progress that I'd done in my diet and my cut to get like as lean as like I physically could. I didn't want all that to go to waste, so I knew that the reverse diet was the best approach for me to be able to eat more and not lose my progress in the process. The main reason I wanted to increase my calories personally was because I love food and I wanted to eat more. Like, I just love snacking all the time, I love eating all the time, and I knew that eating 1500 calories wasn't sustainable. It was getting to a point in my diet where I was starting to feel very, very drained, and obviously that was because of the lack of calories. If you're a female as well, obviously calories are so important for men, but I know a little bit more detail about how your menstrual cycle can be affected if you limit your calories. So if you are someone who is on extremely low calories, this happens to a lot of bikini competitors and a lot of people in the fitness industry who try to stay lean all the time, you know, to look their best physique all the time. And women can actually lose their menstrual cycle, so their period, and the reason for this is your menstrual cycle every month takes up so many calories that if you deprive your body of those calories, your period just thinks, oh, sod that, we haven't got enough calories to do that process every month. The reverse diet is a perfect way for someone who wants to increase their calories, especially if you are someone who is maybe potentially losing their menstrual cycle in the process. This did not happen to me during my cut. I was very lucky and this didn't happen to me, but because I'm very aware of this topic, I knew that it was something that I had to look out for. If you're someone who is on extremely low calories and you don't have a period anymore and you're wondering why, then it is probably because your calories are so low. If you are someone who has lost your period, please go and get medical advice from your local GP or any clinics, etc. We always want to be as healthy as possible, guys, so please do not allow your body to start shutting down, or, you know, feeling really crap or feeling really drained and not being able to do normal bodily functions. Like, that's when it becomes obsessive. So please do ask for help and go talk to someone if this is happening to you. I just love food in general, so reverse dieting was something that I always wanted to do and knew I was going to do after my dieting phase, because I've just always loved food. I grew up always wanting to gain weight and stuff, so I've always been, you know, on like the 2000 calorie mark, that sort of thing, and just eating whatever foods I want and stuff. And although over the past few years now that I'm training a lot more serious since I got my PT qualification and I sort of do it as like a part-time job, all of this sort of stuff, I find that I just really want to be able to eat things when I can. I don't want to have to think, oh, I can only have these snacks per day. You know, if I'm on 2000 calories a day, I can have 3 to 4 big healthy meals every day and also a lot of snacks as well. And that's the sort of routine that I really want to have all the time and every day. One of the most important reasons why I also wanted to reverse diet is now, if I ever wanted to go on a cut again, my starting point is like way up here. So if I managed to get to 2300 calories, or maybe even higher, or maybe a little bit lower, if I wanted to go on a diet, I could literally drop my calories to 2000, 1900 and still have like a few hundred calorie deficit every day, which is what we need in order to lose body fat, a calorie deficit. Having that higher starting point means that we don't need to be draining our body of all these calories, and we can still live, you know, quite a relaxed, stress-free lifestyle, not worrying too much about all the little calories here and there, and still see results as well when we are dieting. So for me, I know that later on in life, if I want to go on a cut again, who actually knows, I always say I want to gain weight. Sometimes I want to go through cuts. I have just like really occasional brain waves where I think I want to like change my direction and stuff, but I then know that I could still be on a diet and having 2000 calories a day, which is absolutely amazing. If you are someone who is on low calories, no matter what the number is, and you want to bump those up, please follow the processes that I'm going to go through in this video, and then for like 6 months or however long it takes you to get your calories up to a point that you want to. Obviously my point was 2000 to 2300 calories, but yours may only want to be 1900 calories every day or 2000 calories a day. But it just means that in the future you can then diet again and not drain your body on crazy low calories. So now I'm going to go into detail about how I done my reverse diet personally. Because I am someone who tracks my calories and my macros every day, I knew what my starting point was. So I think for a lot of people, they want to start eating more, but they don't actually know what they're eating because they don't track. If you're someone who wants to increase your calories, you'll know you're not eating enough, but you don't necessarily track. My advice would be start tracking your calories. You don't have to make it obsessive. I get comments and like slight negativity all the time about, why do you track? It seems obsessive. Why do you need to know like every gram of food? And the point is, I love tracking. It probably takes about 10 minutes out of my whole day, so it's nothing obsessive. And because I use the same app every day, the foods that I generally tend to eat are already saved on there, so it is a really easy process in tracking my foods every day. I never let it get the better of me and become obsessed with it. So I think that if you can create a nice relationship with a tracking app and starting to track your foods and your macros, then you will find reverse dieting a lot easier. Because I knew what my calories were and my macros, it meant that when I was starting to reverse diet, so I was increasing my calories little bits here, little bits there, sometimes it would be every 2 weeks, sometimes it would be every month, month. Sometimes I'd even forget that I was trying to reverse diet and I'd go like 6 weeks without increasing my calories. But because I knew my starting point, so say the 1500 calories, say if I was increasing my calories by 50 a month or 20 a week, what I would do is I would break those calories down into the macros that I want to increase. The basics of nutrition is for 1 gram of protein and carbs it equals 4 calories, and for 1 gram of fat it equals 9 calories. So that's why the foods higher in fats tend to have a lot more calories, because they are over double the calories per gram. So this means that if you wanted to increase your calories by, for example, say 40 calories a week, this means that if you only wanted to increase your carbs that week or whatever the period was, you could then give yourself 10 extra grams of carbs for that period. When you're looking at the increases that you want to do, for me, I didn't have a structure. I was quite laid back, which is really unlike me. Like, normally I'm someone who likes to do everything very structured. I like to have a plan in place, but just because of going through lockdown and, you know, not knowing if we were going to be able to go to the pub, go out drinking or do anything like that, I didn't want to have a full-on structure in place. I just done it as and when I felt like it. Obviously it has been 9 months and I have increased my calories by 500, so I think that works out that it's around 55 every month, which obviously isn't a lot. We are all unique and how many calories we can eat and what our starting point is. So 55 calories might seem really slow for one person, but it might be a hell of a lot of calories for somebody else depending on their starting point. For me, I really wanted to do it slow and steady because I was desperate not to lose my progress. For someone else, you could have probably done it a lot quicker. You might have even been able to do an extra 50 calories. You might have been able to do 100 calories a month, and the whole point of this is trial and error. So I can't tell you that you need to increase your calories by 50 every week or every month, because I don't know your starting point and I don't know how your body's going to react to those extra calories and how often you want to increase them. So if you're someone who wants to reverse diet, really do take it slow, write things down what you're doing every week, and you know, if you put on a bit of weight that week, drop your calories back a little bit. Like, don't put too much pressure on yourself. During my reverse diet I did actually gain weight. It wasn't much, but considering I'm now eating an extra 500 calories than I was, I'm really happy with the progress and how I was actually able to stay committed every week or every month with increasing my calories and not going completely off board and completely binging. I really can't say enough within this video that it is just trial and error, finding what works best for you. Your body might feel better, your body might react better to carbs, fats, proteins and stuff, so it's being able to find that balance of what works best for you. So now that I've talked about how to actually increase your calories, I'm going to just go into a little bit of detail without sort of overwhelming you with maybe how to increase, you know, each individual macro. If you're someone who just solely looks on maybe hitting your protein target and your overall calories, then do not really worry too much about this. But if you're someone who likes to track carbs, fats and protein just like me, then I'm just going to go into a bit of detail on how I actually achieve that. So we do only need certain amounts of macronutrients, and if you want to know my calculation for my macros and calories, etc., then this is also a topic within my nutrition plans. I know that for my body I only need around 120 grams of protein, like maximum. For me, I don't like to go over more than 60 grams of fat per day. So once I've reached the amount of calories that those two equal, so 60 times 9 for my fat and 120 times 4 for my protein, all the extra calories for that will then come from carbs. So once I reached the fat and protein goal, everything that I'd done throughout my reverse diet, I was just breaking up into carbs, and that was the only macronutrient that I was increasing. Obviously there are days where I would eat less fats, more carbs and stuff, but I would always try and hit my protein, hit my overall calories, and then just not go too far off with my carbs and fats as well. So just as another example, I think I have already mentioned this, but say if you wanted to increase your calories by 80 a month and do like 20 a week, then 20 calories per week is only allowing yourself an extra 5 grams of carbs, for example, which seems so slow and steady, and it really is. And I think it's having the patience that it is going to be worth it in the end. You know, if you've got a physique that you want to maintain and you want to build up your calories, this is really the best approach to take. Obviously, as I said at the start of this video, I'm not a reverse dieting expert, but this is just what's really worked for me. One final thing that I wanted to mention in this video was, in order to track your progress, please do not just use the scales. I use pictures, I do my measurements, and the scales are a good indication of things, maybe for occasionally wanting to know what the scales say. I'm someone who doesn't really weigh themselves anymore, and I might do like once a month and stuff. I know that my menstrual cycle every month can make my weight fluctuate. Obviously every day, every human, all of our weight will fluctuate up and down depending on if we've been to the toilet, how much water we've drank, if we've ate loads of food, if we haven't ate loads of food, and all these factors come into play. So please do not let the scales drive this process and let it upset you or even let it make you happy, because I found that because as a female, our menstrual cycle, every month our bodies are going through so many different processes, and for me, I always make sure that if I am going to use the scales, I want to compare like for like. So I always weigh myself, like say when my period ends or just before my period, so then every month when I'm tracking what the scales say, I am comparing a like for like compared on last month, because I know that my body is sort of going through the same process. So that is pretty much what I did, guys, and I hope it hasn't confused you too much, and I hope that you can take this information away. If you do have any questions, pop them in the description box, but I hope this has allowed you to see that you can do it. You just have to follow some simple steps, and the best way to do it is to track and write down what you're doing. You know, the things that I've mentioned in this video, they are quite simple, but they can be messed up very easily if you don't track things right or increase things as and when you feel like it's right for you. So that is the end of this video. I hope that this explains things for you. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If I know that you guys like these kind of videos of going into a lot more detail, then I am fully happy to do more of them in the future. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.